Microphone check 1 2 1 2 check check. What's going on, everybody? So that's Ayesha Curry on your screen right there. Ayesha Curry. Obviously, she is the wife of Steph Curry, the NBA superstar, who is currently engaged in a playoff war against the Houston Rockets. And I say that metaphorically speaking, while he's away at war, uh, in a metaphorical sense, his wife, however, decides to get on social media on this show with it's Jada Pinkett Smith's show called the Red Table something Red Table something on Facebook, and they start having that girl talk stuff, and in the midst of it, Ayesha Curry decides that she wants to confess how she is craving and wishes that she would have more male attention in her life from other men in a way that's likened unto the female attention that her husband gets from all of those Insta thoughts and groupies and stuff. So, in a nutshell, Ayesha Curry, wife of an NBA superstar, living the life of Riley, which is her daughter's name, no pun intended, uh, living a life, an enviable life that most women wish they could have. Famous husband, rich, famous, wealthy, full of resources. Plus, she's got her own stuff going on with her career as a chef and TV stuff. In spite of all that, she's still saying that she wishes she had more male attention from other men. Not more attention from her husband, but from other men. She still wants to know. In other words, she wants to be able to walk down the street and have a bunch of dudes catcall her. Because she says that's missing from her life. Okay? Now, everybody knows Steph Curry and his wife they appear to have the ideal marriage and a atmosphere. When you talking about professional sports, well, relationships are not built to last, right? And these two people, they've been married since I think the both of them were like 23 years old. And they have lasted. They seem to have the ideal marriage. They got 2 or 3 cute kids and all that kind of stuff. And they have been model exemplary citizens for the NBA in this regard, right? So you would think everything would be all hunky-dory and strawberries and rainbows, but it's not, apparently, for Ayesha Curry, because she is unsatisfied at this point. She wishes that that she could have men flocking to her and blowing up her DMs on Instagram or whatever and stuff like that and showering her with male attention. Now, as Christians, this is what got me to thinking. I'm thinking about what the church says about relationships and how men are supposed to just dote on their wives and put them on pedestals and all that kind of stuff. And the end result is, if you do these things, if you dote on your wife, if you put her on a pedestal, if you love her as Christ loved the church, then she has no option but to just submit to you and lay down her life and pledge her lifelong love to you. And that seems like what Steph Curry has done by all accounts. Now I'm going to go to a couple of quotes here. There on the screen, you see, this is a quote from a website called popsugar.com, where Steph revealed what he feels are the 2 secrets to their happy marriage. And he says, and these are 2 things that, these are 2 cliches that you see and hear all the time. It says here, and I'm going to read it. He says, he also revealed the 2 secrets to their happy and successful marriage: communication and being each other's biggest supporters, he says. All right. And then it says, I think that what we've learned most about each other is that as busy as you are and as much as we have going on career-wise, it doesn't happen without the support of each other. I try to be her biggest fan when it comes to anything she does and vice versa. He said he's her biggest fan. Okay? And then he says, that's what makes everything special. Being able to share the ups and downs of life with somebody. All right. But I want to focus on this right here. He says he is her biggest fan. Okay. Steph Curry, Ayesha Curry's husband, her biggest fan. He's giving her all. So what this tells us is that he gives her all the attention that he can. He supports her. He's there for her. He dotes on her. He's laying his life down for her as Christ laid down his life for the church. Right? He's doing everything he's supposed to do, as that we're taught in that Christian culture known as churchianity. Right? But yet and still, she goes out and says she needs more male attention. And not from him, but from other men. Right? So what do we think? Well, what do we have to say about that as Christian thinking people? Right? What do we have to think? What do we say about that? Because if you read these books, these modern day Christian pop, psycho, babble, nonsense, stuff like the 5 love languages, okay? And that old goofy movie with Kirk, what was the dude from, what was the dude? The movie Fireproof, that movie, where they put all the onus on the husband. You know, if the husband do what he's supposed to do, then the wife is going to automatically love and, yeah. But see, what this reveals is it's not like that. It must not be like that. Because Steph Curry, by all accounts, he's doing the things that a Christian husband is supposed to do. Even Ayesha Curry said that by her own admission. She said, hey, he's the nicest guy. He's there for me. He never loses his temper, da da da. But yet and still, it's not enough. She's not satisfied. She's not satisfied with being the wife and mother, the wife of an NBA superstar and the mother of his kids. She's not satisfied with and content with having access to untold numbers of wealth. You know, Steph Curry, just signed a couple of big contracts in his last couple of years. So it ain't the money. A lot of people think money will make a woman happy. That's not necessarily true. But see, now we're seeing inside the mind of the female psyche. We're getting inside there what really goes on. Because this woman has everything. She has all the trappings. She has all the things that most women, and even most women in the church, would love to be in her position. But yet and still, she's still craving more. She needs more. She needs male attention. She wants to walk down the street and have a bunch of dudes catcalling her. Talking about something like they do over east. Talking about saying, yeah, what up, ma? All that, She wants that. And, she says she doesn't want to. It's not that she's going to act on it or anything like that. And I kind of believe her. For now, I believe her. But who knows? If the right dude comes along. See, and that's the other thing. This is dangerous for her because she's opening a door. She's opening a door to possibly or potentially go astray. Yes, indeed. She is definitely opening up a door where she could go astray because she's telling people that there's a void in her life, that she's missing something, and she's let the entire world know it, right? And you got some slick talking dudes out there, man. You got dudes. It's dudes in the NBA probably want to get at her, right? Let alone dudes on the street. So she's in a very vulnerable position, in my opinion. And she needs to be careful. She needs to be very careful. And I put the onus on her as much as I put it on Steph. Now, Steph, there's some things he can say and do in this situation, but it's really a tough thing for him to be out there. He is, metaphorically speaking, out to war, and here his wife is doing all this stuff, It's a distraction he doesn't need. But she is definitely opening herself up. She's in a vulnerable position, and she better be very careful because you got some slick talking dudes that can slide up in there and take advantage of a situation like this. So that's the main point of this video, y'all. I just want to point out this is the stuff that the Christian marriage relationship advice complex doesn't get into. And that's what causes a lot of misunderstandings and problems. They don't talk about this side of the female psyche, right? They always talk about what the man ain't doing. They always talk about what the man ain't doing, or what the man, he ain't laying down his life. He's not being worthy of being, he's not being worthy of somebody that she could submit to. Nonsense, man. Nonsense. Bull crap. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about women in this position. This woman has everything, all the trappings of a life that the average woman in this country wants, and yet, even though she's a Christian woman, even though she's married to an NBA superstar, wealthy, in need, and lacking nothing, got her own business and stuff too, yet and still she's still craving male attention, male validation. Okay? You see, the five love languages, that book, and Fireproof, and all them other old goofy ass books that these pastors and stuff be writing. They're not gonna talk about this stuff, man. They're gonna arm you and equip you as a young man in the church, in particular, how to deal with this and how to be aware of it and how to watch for it. They're not gonna talk about that. But that's what I'm here for. I'm gonna talk about it. So good luck to Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry. You know, this is this is not a good sign to me. This is a woman that, to me, looks like she's about ready to stray. And I hope old Chef Steph can cook up something, the right thing to keep that from happening. Because you do need representations of marriages like this from young black folks. You do need this example. And hopefully uh, things won't get out of hand. But whatever. That's all I got for now. Y'all be cool.